Tonight on KGW News, a grandmother punched out of nowhere, her family says, and by a stranger.
Seemed to be looking for somebody to do that too.
Plus, a cry for help after federal agents detain a father out delivering food on Thanksgiving.
All he can tell us that he loves us and that he's okay and that we love him.
Then, a new task force targeting those who go after small businesses sees what officials call its first results.
It's a lot harder to get things on the shelf back again than it is for some other bigger corporate places.
And later, why you might have to pay a new $45 fee the next time you fly just to get through security. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. We begin tonight with what appears to be an unprovoked attack on a local grandmother caught on camera. As Catherine Cook reports, the victim's family is now asking for your help finding the suspect.
What he did is very wrong, and he could hurt more people.
Words of concern from the granddaughter of the woman walking in this video. A woman who, as you're about to see, was punched by a total stranger, according to family members. It happened November 25th, around 8 in the morning on 122nd near Powell Boulevard. The woman is taking out the trash when a man in a blue jacket walks by. He turns around, walks up to the woman, and punches her. She falls to the ground, and he runs away. Granddaughter Bianca says her 69-year-old grandmother is slowly healing.
It kind of messed her up, mentally as well, and emotionally. She's just kind of all over the place and in shock, and her body just really hurt.
She's the last person I expected that to happen to.
Marcus Bingham knows the victim as one of his favorite neighbors. His security camera captured the punch.
A travesty. She's the nicest, friendliest person in this complex.
Marcus doesn't recognize the suspect and hasn't seen him since. Other neighbors are just trying to make sense of what happened.
He had to have been drugged out. There's no other way. Why would you just do that?
I'm hoping that somebody will identify him and, report that to the police and that justice will be served.
Bianca couldn't agree more. She's grateful for the clues these security videos provide and support from the community and police.
My whole family, we just want to say a big thank you to everyone, because without everyone's help, we wouldn't know where to look next.
Police are actively looking for the suspect. They're asking anyone with information to contact them and to reference the case number, which we'll post on KGW.com. David?
Well, let's hope they get the guy, and fast. Yeah. Thanks, Catherine. In an update tonight, the National Guard soldier who was shot and wounded last Wednesday in what authorities say was a targeted attack is now in serious condition but showing signs of improvement. It's now been 5 days since officials say Andrew Wolf and Sarah Beckstrom were ambushed while on active duty just blocks from the White House. Investigators say they were shot by an Afghan national who was living in Bellingham, Washington, and had once worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. Beckstrom died of her injuries in the hospital. The shooter remains hospitalized. During a Christmas party at the White House tonight, President Trump paid tribute to both Guard members.
I have another one who's fighting for his life, as you know, and he's a fabulous young man, highest. Both of them were the best everything, the best of their class, the best of their class. And maybe he'll be okay. He's going through a lot, but maybe he'll be okay.
The news comes as D.C. police today were assigned to patrol alongside National Guard units. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. New at 11, about 135 advanced practice providers who work at Legacy Health hospitals are set to go on strike tomorrow morning. These include nurse practitioners and physician associates, among others. The Oregon Nurses Association says the group has been trying to reach a contract agreement for nearly 2 years. Legacy Health says it's offered a 10% pay increase and will continue to bargain in good faith. Portland police have identified the pedestrian who was hit and killed by a car on the freeway early Friday morning. They say 36-year-old Joshua Spicer was on I-405 near the I-5 split south of downtown when he was hit. Authorities say the driver stayed at the scene and talked to investigators. A Molalla man will spend 2 years in prison for attacking a police officer and sparking an hours-long standoff. Montgomery Gardner pleaded guilty last week to assaulting a public safety officer and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Authorities say this started in a park last July when an officer asked Gardner to exit a tent. Police say Gardner had a large knife and meth pipe on him. Then, when the officer tried to detain him, authorities say Gardner attacked and jumped into the patrol car. That led to a 2-hour SWAT standoff. Before he surrendered, the officer was treated for multiple injuries. And in an update, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he has reached his December 1st goal of adding 1,500 shelter beds. You may remember the mayor pledged to end unsheltered homelessness during his campaign. In a video statement, Wilson said the city must now, quote, channel its energy into long-term solutions. The beds are spread across multiple sites citywide, the mayor says, with the opportunity to surge capacity and with more locations to be announced in the coming weeks. All right, December has arrived, and with it, those chilly overnights. And while we stay dry today, it looks like that is not going to last. Matt's here with our first look at the week ahead. Hey there, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to get wet, and it's also going to get warmer. Won't be as cold tomorrow morning as it was this morning. Look at this great cloud formation, a cap cloud, lenticular cloud up on Mount Hood. Usually an indication that it's going to bring some stormy weather. Subtle change. I wouldn't call it stormy. Any rain we get will be light. Look at Doppler radar. Even up in western Washington, even up on the Olympic Peninsula, it's very scattered and light, and we'll get a few sprinkles in Portland early morning hours, mid-morning hours. Then it's over. That moves on, and we go right back to dry weather. Portland right now is 44 degrees. The wind is calm, and it is cloudy yet again. And again, that's going to keep our temperatures warmer tonight than it was last night. Let's take a look ahead at December by the numbers. The average rainfall goes up to 5.77 inches. That's the wettest month of the year in Portland on average, just a little bit above November. The average high temperature doesn't really drop that much in December. We're kind of bottoming out basically all month long. But boy, the sunset change goes from 4:28 to 4:37, gets later at the end of the month, but we still lose time because the sunrise goes from 7:30 to 7:50. So we lose 20 minutes on the sunrise side of the day. Tomorrow, a few showers in the morning, then mostly cloudy, then partly sunny. We'll be back into the upper 40s and near 50, and I've got more warm weather along with the rain on the way in a bit, David.
All right, Matt, see you in a few. Tonight, a Vancouver woman is asking for help after federal agents detained her and her partner while they were delivering food on Thanksgiving Day, then later released her, she says, but not him. Celine Stevens has the story.
It was a sad Thanksgiving for the family of Luis Exchop this year. His sister and partner telling me that he's been hospitalized since he was detained on Thanksgiving due to issues with his high blood pressure. His partner saying they were out making food deliveries when they were stopped by federal agents.
All I could think of was like, it's going to be a sad Thanksgiving.
Brenda Coronado and Luis Exchop have been together for more than 10 years.
Luis is a caring man, a lovable father of 3.
On Thanksgiving, around 6:30 in the morning, they were out making food deliveries. They stopped at a donut shop for coffee in this plaza off of Northeast 117th Avenue in Vancouver, and as they were leaving, they were pulled over. Coronado saying federal agents arrested them both, despite her having a green card.
He was like, where is it at? And I didn't have my bag. At that moment, I forgot my bag at home, and I said, I don't have it. And then he was like, well, you're undocumented.
She says she was injured when they pulled her out the car.
They just pulled me out, and then all I hear was a crack in my knee. And at that point, I said, you hurt my knee. And he was like, oh, well, you need to get out.
Coronado says eventually they let her go, but kept Exchop, who does not have legal status. Luis's sister, Cecia Exchop, saying it came as a shock.
We had an empty chair where he was supposed to sit and be with us.
She says he's been in the hospital since Thursday and suffers from high blood pressure.
Just so heartbroken by what happened, because this is a way that it rips families apart in an instant, and you don't expect that.
While she acknowledged Luis had a DUI from years ago, she says her brother has had no other run-ins with the law. Coronado saying she begged them to let her give him a hug, which she was granted.
They were like just laughing, saying, Happy Thanksgiving. And I turned around and I was like, how is that going to be a happy Thanksgiving? How is that? You're taking my other half. You're breaking us apart.
The family says they are working on getting an attorney and now have a GoFundMe up to help with those fees. They also said that Exchop was supposed to be transferred from the hospital to the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma Monday afternoon. I've reached out to ICE for more details and I'm waiting on a statement back. In Vancouver, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Well, meanwhile, authorities in Washington County are reiterating a pledge that they do not participate in federal immigration enforcement and do not ask about immigration status. The statement reads in part, quote, "No one should live in fear of calling the police. When people are afraid to report crimes or testify because they worry about immigration consequences, our entire community becomes less safe and the people who commit harm are empowered," end quote. The Law Enforcement Council, as it's called, consists of the DA's office, the Sheriff's office, as well as a number of police departments across Washington County.